31-year-old Anar Ahmed was expecting her third child. The 36-week pregnant woman was admitted to hospital in Hotan, southern Xinjiang, because of high blood pressure. A pregnant woman usually gives birth anytime after 37 weeks. But doctors say Anar needs to give birth a week earlier than planned, otherwise both the mother and the baby will be in danger.
Ben 13 gündür doktorxanaga kelgan, ondan 13 gündür kelgandan keyin doktor yataq qilib, yaxshi kuzatib, davolab, meni hozir qon besimim turaqlashdi. Ət balamdan ko'rishsa, salamat ət ko'rishgan balam bilan.
名字想好了吗？
O'ylashmadik. Maslahatlashib turdik, hozir o'ylashmadik, lekin qiz yoki o'g'illigini taxminlaymiz.
The next morning, Anar's husband, Dir Murad, accompanied her to the door of the operation room. And Anar was ready for her C-section. Her doctor told me usually she encourages expectant mothers to give birth naturally because that allows them to recover better and faster. However, Anal has already had 2 C-sections, so she won't be able to have a natural childbirth this time. Doctors say the operation shouldn't take too long as Anal's blood pressure is stable today, but her husband is still a bit worried and nervous.
Benim ayalım bundan 2 qatim operatsiya tushgan bo'lsa, 2 operatsiyada o'ngishlik bo'lgan. Bu qatim o'ngishlik bo'lishini umid qilman. Ham shundan bundan 2 qatim operatsiya tushgan bo'lsa, men yana ham jiddiylashyapman, azroq jiddiylashyapman. Hozir balam o'g'ilmi, qizmi buni bilmayman. Uni ko'rishni taqozoblab ketdim. Onasidan bolasini sog'-salomat chiqishini umid qilman. Ularninki operatsiyasi qanchalik vaqt tugaydi, hozir men buni bilmadim. Sal yana ham jiddiylashib turyapman. Ularninki operatsiyadan sog'-salomat chiqishini umid qildim.
After about 30 minutes waiting, Dir Murad finally saw her little baby girl, and his wife was in good health.
This is a high-risk infant because she's premature. After the resuscitation, the baby was soon back to the stable and healthy condition. We think the baby is fine now and should be in the room with her mother.
Anar and her husband are delighted. Their previous 2 children, born in 2014 and 2016, were both boys, and the arrival of the baby girl was exactly what they had hoped for.
Backup'tan baktım. Davamlı 90 mikam yok istelip. Şimdi öyle gelip ben onunla kapat buğandan işit kayıga bardı. Anamda da mamanı kim benim backup'tan baktı bu. Davamlı. Çıkıl totumda şimdi backup'tan bakalım.
As the couple welcomed the new member of their family more than 6,000 kilometers away in London, an unofficial, self-styled Uygur Tribunal gathered so-called witnesses who claimed China was allegedly committing genocide against the Uyghurs in Xinjiang. Their claims ranged from forced abortions to sterilizations via the removal of 2,000 wombs each year. A witness said she saw more than 20 forced abortions and forced sterilizations a day carried out by doctors in Hotan Prefecture People's Hospital.
I'd never heard of it until you asked me just now.
Kue Shikets is an associate chief surgeon at Hotan Prefecture People's Hospital. She's been qualified to perform hysterectomies for a decade.
On average, I perform about 3 to 4 hysterectomies per month. So that's about 50 every year at most. If you calculate it, over my past 10 years working, I've only performed about 500 such surgeries, nothing like 2,000.
Hotan Prefecture People's Hospital is known as the best in this area. Actually, I've been visiting here for over 10 days, expecting to see under what circumstances a hysterectomy is performed on a woman. But I haven't seen any such surgeries yet. Doctors tell me that there are not many cases, even in the whole year.
We only perform a hysterectomy if the patient has a malignant tumor. If it's a benign tumor, we won't do it.
We have very strict control over the removal of organs. Generally speaking, we try our best to preserve a woman's uterus.
Uygur usually performs myomectomies, surgeries to remove uterine fibroids. As an attending surgeon, she does not have the qualification to perform a hysterectomy, the surgery to remove the whole uterus, even though she's been working in the hospital for 12 years.
A hysterectomy usually takes about 3 hours. Even if a doctor works 8 hours a day, it's still not possible to perform 1,000 such surgeries in a whole year. How could it be possible that our doctors spend all day doing that? Don't they have other patients to treat? Don't they need to rest? That's ridiculous.
Local doctors add that far from forced sterilization, there were a lot of preferential policies for pregnant women in Xinjiang.
Examinations during pregnancy are free. For people like Anar who live far away from the city center, village clinics arrange buses to bring them here for checkups. When they are about to give birth, even if it's late at night, village clinics bring them to our hospital. All this is free of charge. Xinjiang's demographic figures show that ethnic groups' population in the region has seen a steady growth. The latest 7th National Population Census of Xinjiang conducted in 2020 shows that the ethnic minority population in Xinjiang has maintained a high growth rate from 4.5 million in 1953 to nearly 15 million in 2020. The Uyghur population grew at a compound annual growth rate of over 1.6% in the past 2 decades, higher than other ethnic minorities and much higher than the overall national rate. As of the falling birth rate, an expert says that's a natural tendency due to the development of society and not because of alleged strict birth control measures as claimed by critics.
The economic and social development of Xinjiang also has an influence on the decline of the birth rate. According to the 7th National Census, the urbanization rate in Xinjiang has now reached 56%. It means that many ethnic minorities in farming and pastoral areas have come to live and work in cities and towns. Then they interact and communicate with other ethnic groups in the towns and cities, and their views on fertility have changed. They now pay more attention to the quality of their children's education rather than the number of children.
That's why when we spoke with young people on the street in Xinjiang's capital, Urumqi, a number of them seemed reluctant to have children.
I saw my sister giving birth once, and I felt giving birth is a huge challenge. So, one is enough.
I think it is all because of pressure for young people.
I don't want to worry too much. I just thought it would be good to be single and that's it. I just want to live a simple life.
I think 2 children are enough. 3 is too many. It's hard to find a nanny nowadays.
People take lots of things into consideration nowadays: housing, education, living environment, and financial pressures.
In the past, people might get married at 23 or 24, and some might have 2 children when they were 26 years old. But now we're different. People in their 30s can still be single or have only 1 child. That's our own choice.
For ordinary Uyghur people like Anar and her husband Dir Murad, their daily life is far from the tales of genocide and forced sterilization. When Anar's daughter turned 2 months old, we visited her again. The baby girl, although born premature, is in good condition, but the couple have decided to live in their relative's house near the hospital so that it's more convenient to check in with her doctors. Her 2 brothers also like to stop by after school to visit their little sister.
Yolcum işleyip doğaydı 5 milyon maaş attı. Bizim kaçtı işte 50 tal kuyumuz var. Yolcum tukumumuz bizge yardımcı pek pırdı. Ben maksimum kızımla bakıtma uydu oturup işki oğlan mektepte okuydu. Yolcum işten gelgenden keyin balamıga may yardımcı balamla bakıp pırdı. Ben ballarımdan sağlam akıllı çoğun bolğununu görüp üzümün ait baklık his kıldım.
When asked about his daughter's name this time, Dir Murad says she's got a beautiful name from her grandmother.
Güzelnur, Güzelnur. Kızımın ismini Güzelnur koyuştuk məqsədim. Güzel çapnap durğan güzel nərsəyə oxşayır. Güzelnur, Güzelnur. Güzelnur, Güzelnur.
Gorgeous and brilliant rays of light, or in another word, hope. Amid the relentless smear campaign by the West, China hopes that someday critics listen to the voices of health workers on the ground in Xinjiang and the experiences of Uyghur couples like Anar and Dir Murad.